Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the After Hours podcast. This is actually our very ninth episode, and we're very excited right now because I'm here sitting with Sir Mark. Mark Young, he is actually the head of our media team, so he's the brains of our media team. So everything that you see, he's actually the one spearheading it. Sir, see yourself for the camera.
Thank you so much, Fred. For those who know me, normally I'm the guy behind that camera. And I think it's going to be my first time appearing in front of the camera, if not for, behind the scenes. Well, I guess we're going to talk about today. What do you got, Fred?
Actually, right now we're going to be talking about the recent happenings in the world of cinema.
Right.
Because, as he said, BRILL Creations actually is as a media production company as well. And we're very focused when it comes to the latest and greatest in the world of cinematography. Let's just have a little bit of news for you guys. So if you've been listening here, I'm sure now you've been seeing all the news about the Oscars and the Academy Awards for this year. And let me just tell you something. This Academy Awards couldn't get any better. Actually, this one, I believe, is better than the last year. Because after all the controversies, it is to be compared the Chris Rock slap of last year. So, but now it's back to movies again. So, what do you think, sir, for the winners of this year's Academy Awards?
Well, to be honest, Fred, I haven't seen the Oscars #1. And the fact that I'm dying to watch it, maybe one of these days. But for me, predicting from the past movies I've seen a couple of weeks and months ago, I couldn't think of someone getting the trophy for this year. That would be, what is the name of this director for the everything? What's that?
The Daniels.
The Daniels. Yeah, Daniels. Yeah, I think he did really great in mixing. It's almost mix and match. I can feel when you see the way he has directed and the screenplay. I can see that what is lacking from Marvel Cinematic Universe and mixing the real cinema as per se, that the storytelling, what is really the essential.
Let's go back to that one because I heard that that argument again and again. What do you think is, because there's this one particular director that's garnered a lot of controversy online, which we all know, Martin Scorsese, one of the best directors of our time. But he garnered a lot of criticism because he said that Marvel movies are actually not cinema. And I guess the population got split about that because on the other side, there's one side that is saying that no, Marvel is cinema. And then there are some people who are saying, no, I mean, Marvel is a movie, but it cannot be considered cinema. So what's your take on that?
And that's really hard to blur the line, But for me, I think it's all about, again, as a conscious being, for me, what I look for, this is like my personal opinion about it. When I watch a movie and we call it a cinema, for me, at the end of the film, I must get something about it. After analyzing, criticizing all the things that you've heard and seen, you wanted to fulfill that belongingness inside that film. That what would you like to see and what would you like to feel in that. But of course, that there are like great filmmakers in which they successfully win when they try to make you not understand what is going on inside the film. I've seen this, was this guy irreversible guy? Yeah, something like this. It's like, you know, gut wrenching film, and it's just somewhere in between. You get lost, you know, and you couldn't take it, and then you try to watch it over and over again, and you don't understand. And I guess they just win it, you know.
Yeah. But the thing, I think my point in this one, and for the most part, I think I get Martin Scorsese when said that, is because I think his point is we've gone to a point where superhero movies became so commercialized that they're almost, you know, they're almost disposable to an extent. Because if we're going to say that superhero movies are not cinema, well, I beg to differ when we talk about the first Iron Man, and because that one, when it released, that one was actually a masterpiece. You know, for that time back in 2008. Or when we talk about Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1, the original. But now it's like there's so... I think that's my opinion, that there's no incentive anymore, because every year you've got like 6, 7, 8 superhero movies.
Yeah, that's right.
So you just have to ask yourself, you know, if you want something that is top-notch and what's called this, in good quality, you know, of course you're gonna need time. But when they're pumping out this much movies, almost like they're making burgers on the, you know, on the side street, there's too much, you know, and it's not helping, because as of now, have you seen the reviews for Ant-Man, the Quantum Mechanic? Oh my God,
What's going on? Like,
as I say, they were destroyed by the people from Twitter, because they, I guess this concept of quality over quantity, you preach in the Ant-Man Quantumania, because everything was just a mess. The production, the costume design, the superhero design, everything was.
but at the end of the day, it was something, you know, being intended.
And I hope that the Marvel and Disney as well, I mean, they learn from this one. I mean, we don't need 10 different superhero movies in a year. You know, like, people can wait. People waited for the end game for years, you know. I think people can wait more. But okay, since we're talking about this, about the concept of cinema, the thing that caught my attention is when I heard that, because when I think about that statement from Martin Scorsese, he was talking about, you know, Marvel movies are not cinema. But then you have this movie like the Everything and Everywhere All at Once. It's technically, if you think about it, it's technically a sci-fi movie, similar to an MCU movie. But yeah, how come that when we look at this one, we say, oh, this is cinema, right? So what do you think set it apart from the rest of the competition?
Well, for me, a part that it's quite entertaining, you know. I think this is somewhat related, you know. I don't know where it started, but there's some people during the days, they call it cinema, as, you know, this kind of I don't know, it will be a misnomer if I call it like independent films, you know, because mostly cinemas are coming from that side of the, you know, the coin, independent films. But again, we say this kind of films are somewhat entertaining. It's entertainment. It's like I don't know, when you guys are watching in your childhood days the WWE, you know, these kinds are entertaining, purely fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's like after that, you know, you go home and try to, you know, reconnect with the film, and you just couldn't grasp anything, what you really remembered, or, you know, again, what you digested from that film. Give it like about the story, about what morals you can get it from, you know, what you're trying to look for, cinematography, art direction, everything, you know. Yeah.
So I guess and also one of the things that that surprised me when I first watched the Everything and Everywhere All at Once was how it was for everyone. First of all, it was actually for everyone. It's horror, it's action, it's thriller, it's drama. So when you think about it, that there's no way this movie is gonna win it. No way this movie is gonna win an Oscar. But the fun thing was the story was well written right from the get-go, that they can actually blend all of those elements together. You know, as you're it's going to pull you through into this weird sci-fi world and then yank you back out into this action world and then yank you back out
And a melodrama.
yes, into a melodrama and everything. But the fact is, it's not forcing you to do so. Like, it's part of the entire story, right from the get-go. And the morals that you get from it, the visuals is amazing, the CGI. Considering that there were only 2 people who is actually, you know, making all of these special effects. So for me, that was just mind-blowing. And going to that, and we were talking about this because our recent favorite was the Triangle of Sadness. Yes. Actually,
Not being biased, right?
Yes.
We're coming up from the same
yes.
entry.
Yeah, no bias because, you know, we're both Filipinos and we're very proud of Donnie De Leon. But man,
Mr. Check.
yeah, bro, you're very good. You're very awesome in that film. But the thing was, this kind of story has been retold many times. You know, it's been told in the form of Hunger Games. It's been told in the form of Parasite. It's been told in the form of the black form. You know, the social imbalances. Because the way they delivered it, don't you think the way they delivered it was just phenomenal?
That's her.
Right?
Yeah.
So, for you, what do you think when you saw that movie? What set it apart from its predecessors, the one who said the same story but delivered it quite differently?
From the past one, remind me again, what's the title of the past one he is done? The director?
I forgot.
The Square.
The Square. Actually, that one also won the Founding. The Square.
Yeah, really.
So amazing, just amazing. So
And that there, by the way, I have seen some groups of, you know, like filmmakers and criticizing remember that scene where this guy came up in the, you know, like a fantasy restaurant setup,
Yeah.
hotel, and he acted like, you know, weirdo and then became like an ape and so on.
Yeah.
People were like, you know, how could you, you know, let this film script win, you know, a Palme d'Or, and just like making an ape out of this guy. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you can't be too deep with this one.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think it was I'm sorry to say, use this word, but I think it's the purists,
Yeah,
for the most part, because they think that this is just lazy writing. You just put this in the script and let's do your thing. But the thing is, it was actually controlled. You know, I'm sure they talked about how you should be, because contrary to popular belief, acting like you're having a mental breakdown is not as easy as it seems.
That's true.
Right? People think that, okay, I'm just going to have a panic attack or a mental breakdown on camera. Guys, if you're listening to this, take your phone, try and do it in front of the camera. Let's see how it goes, because it's very difficult, you know. And the thing also, within this current lineup of films, is the way I think the world is now changing how we're trying to end films. I know this a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
I know this a little bit niche for people who are listening, but over the past few films that we saw, I think the best way to describe this is we're now getting better at, you know, ending films.
And like films, yeah.
Like the Triangle of Sadness we're not going to give away the ending, but the way they ended that one, you know, you don't have to describe it to the you know, people.
I remember there was this one mentor of mine here. He's in Doha Film Institute. Mr. Ben Robinson. If you're watching this, I owe you one. I remember him when I was training. I was you know, trying to make a screenplay, and he was telling me, when you're writing, Mark, make sure be articulate as much as you can, but there are things that you wanted to show and not to show.
Yes.
In films, you know, because it's all purely visuals, you know. And of course, there will be dilemmas as a writer, you know.
Yeah.
As a filmmaker, you're a god in this film. The problem is that sometimes you think how you're gonna end it is really hard, but because sometimes for me, I myself, I think that I have to please people. I have to think about others, how they're gonna, you know, take this film. So I wanted to end it, of course, not happy ending, but somehow there should be an ending that people will like surely understand. But you just cannot leave them hanging, you know.
Yes, correct.
So now, as we move on, as we see that things, as you said, are evolving in the way of ending it better and keeps on getting better and better. Again, we didn't want it to, you know, spoil that part, but for me, it's kind of completely different. It's like, you know, the entire universe is, you have it in you, you know, whatever you, how you wanted to end it, it's just, it's with you.
Yeah, and the thing about how writers, and I think this is gonna be biased because we love A24 films that's here in the studio, but I guess most of the films that are being produced by A24 has that kind of you know, they have that kind of element to them. And the thing about how they end, and I'm gonna go back to that movie, the All Quiet on the Western Front. I'm not gonna spoil how the story goes, but if you guys have seen how they set up the first 10 minutes of the film and compare it to the last 10 minutes of the film, you will see how it's like, if you watch it twice, then you will understand. It's like going around in a circle. So now you understand that. And it gave me chills when I actually saw that one. It gave me chills because right at the few, I think 20 minutes of the film, now everything is falling into place.
Making sense.
Okay, so this is why you put this shot in the beginning. So this is why you put their shot, because the contrast of the actors, the contrast of their characters in the beginning into the end is just wild. It's just wild. Like if you see it again, and that's what makes it heartbreaking, because at the end of the day, it's a drama. You know, that's what makes it heartbreaking, because you've seen the highest they've ever been in the start of the film.
Okay.
And then it's going to pull you down.
Sure.
This is the lowest they're going to be in the last few minutes of the film. It's just wild.
I think it's supposed to be that way, you know. They try to, you know, caught you off guard.
Yeah.
You know, that in such a way that you don't expect what is coming. And then the middle, or somehow, I don't know, climax or something, they gonna inject this thing that, again, there's a payback.
Yes, exactly.
And it's gonna be really sweet.
Yes, and that's the saying, because I believe, I don't know whose actor was that who said it, that the key to making if you want your audience to cry, you don't have to cry. You just have to act like you're going to cry. Because if you've seen that movie, like if you've seen this movie, All Quiet on the Western Front, you will know that there will be some parts of it where the characters don't even cry on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna make your heart break for them. And then you realize when you watch, you know, the rom-coms and stuff, the actors are going to be crying with their heart out, but you're not gonna feel anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's different because the way they build it up and the way they put the scoring and everything, which if you've seen, it's very effective, very simple but very effective.
Mm.
You know, so for you, sir, since you're the one who has more experience in the studio, when it comes to the field of cinematography, what do you think is going to be the future of cinematography right now? Not just here in Qatar, but internationally. Because now we are seeing a lot of movies, not just in the West. Because before we look into the West when it comes to movies now, and we have a lot of Asians going into the Europeans, like the Swedish directors. You have a lot of Eastern European directors coming into the scene. We got a lot of African directors coming into the scene right now. So what do you think is going to be the future of cinematography?
Oh, to be honest, for most amateurs, I would say gimbal.
Just kidding. Everything's going to be stable. One shot.
Yeah, one shot. Yeah, gimbalized.
Everything is going to be 1917 one test.
Oh, that would be interesting, right?
Yeah.
Well, kidding aside, right? For me, how I see, the future generation for the young cinematographers out there is that, of course, I think there's really no right on or wrong in terms of how you're gonna put your shot or visualize your whatever is inside your brain, but it's all about how you're gonna depict that story and let your audience connect. Yeah, it's like the way you were saying. I remember why people don't cry, why as the actor or the character is already soaking in tears. It's because for me, I think it's all about connection. If someone watches that and she directly connects with the character deep inside, sitting in that character, and then it will be more effective that way. So in terms of, again, framing your shots, for most guys, even for me, when I started, I just keep shooting and shooting, right? And then from there,
And writing as well.
writing as well, yeah, of course, practicing, of course, it's like whatever is in your mind, shooting it, visualizing it. When you put it inside your, frame, you have to be really articulate. What should be the colors in there? What is the tone? What is the mood of your movie? And it's just that you just keep going better and better at, and that should be the future of young cinematographers out there. But of course, for the golden ones, that already that these guys are breaking the rules.
Yeah, breaking.
There's no rule of thirds.
Yeah.
This and that. So for them, it's like it's like fudge off.
And the crazy thing about this, when we look at the movies right now, particularly in the the production houses like A24, younger and younger people are going to the I mean, some peers are gonna call them art films and such, but I don't think that's fair, because at the end of the day, if your film was really good, it's an art film at the end of the day. So I guess we just have to hope, because actually the Oscars this year is actually a testament to how movies are just getting better and better. I think it's just all about the exposure, because right now, I mean, it's hard to compete, and no matter how good your product is, you're gonna be saturated in the market by subpar movies that are coming out. It's gonna be difficult. So, but yes, we have very high hopes for storytelling and cinematography, and we hope that the future of cinema is gonna be alive and well in the coming years. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much,
so
Sir
much,
Mark.
Fred.
Yes. Join us again next week on the next episode of the After Hours Club. Okay. Thank you so much for listening, folks.